While Midrashic literature appears to adopt a critical view of the decision by Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven to remain on the east side of the Jordan, applying to them the pasuk in Mishlei 20:21 that Ve'achrita lo tevarech, they were not blessed. In fact, these two tribes were the first to be carted off into Galut. This, as we noted previously, was not the case in assessing the half-tribe of Menasheh, who also settled in Ever HaYarden. We previously referred to the Midrashic commentary to the offerings of the various tribes upon the consecration and dedication of the Mishkan, the 2 bulls, the 5 rams, the 5 male goats, the 5 lambs, that with respect to the 2 bulls brought by Shevet Menasheh, the Medrash finds a remez, a symbolism, a possible prophecy to the events that were to take place 40 years later, whereby Menasheh settled on both sides of the Jordan, indicating that, in contrast to the tribes of Reuven and Gad, the actions of Menasheh were deemed to be positive. Further support in distinguishing between the actions of Gad and Reuven to that of Menasheh can be found in additional Midrashic statements, such as in Bamidbar Rabbah 22:7, where the Medrash writes, V'chein at motzeh b'vnei Gad u'bnei Reuven. When one carefully reads the text, one will discover that the Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven were extraordinarily wealthy relative to the other tribes, in that v'haya lahem mikne gadol, they had immense herds of cattle, v'chivavu et mamonam, they placed a high priority on wealth accumulation, v'yashvu lahem chutz me'eretz Yisrael, that this great wealth was the underlying reason for their decision to settle in an area that was chutz me'eretz Yisrael. Lefichach, therefore, the Medrash maintains, in other words, on account of this decision to settle in chutz la'aretz, galut chila mikol hashvatim, they were the first of the tribes to be sent into Galut. Quotes a pasuk from Divrei Hayamim, Perek Hey. Umi garam, what was the cause of this early exile? Al shehifrishu atzmam min ha'achechem b'shvil kinyanam, that they were willing to segregate themselves from the rest of the nation on account of their vast wealth. Minayin, on what basis can this link be established? The Medrash goes on to suggest Mima shekatuv b'Torah u'mikne rav haya libnei Reuven v'gomer. What the Medrash is referring to is the juxtaposition of the request recorded in Bamidbar 32:2, Vayavo b'nei Gad b'nei Reuven, with the opening pasuk, a statement to the effect that u'mikne rav haya libnei Reuven u'bnei Gad, these two tribes had vast herds of cattle, not just rav, but atzum mo'od. They were extraordinarily wealthy. This emphasis upon wealth, suggests the Medrash, that motivated them to approach Moshe and request to remain on the east side of the Jordan. This, of course, is a value judgment that the Medrash makes that goes well beyond Bnei Reuven and Bnei Gad. The subtext is the misguided priorities that are prevalent in most societies invariably has a negative impact upon the stability of that society. Worth noting, however, is the absence of Shevet Menasheh from the Medrash narrative, and also from the account recorded in the Chumash upon which the Medrash is based. Both the Chumash and the Medrash identify the Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven, who were the ones who instigated this request to remain on the east side of the Jordan, which comes to support the thesis of the Rebbe that there was a fundamental distinction between Bnei Reuven and Bnei Gad to that of Shevet Menasheh, with all the flow-on effects noted earlier. And this also comes to support the thesis that whereas Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven, on account of their misguided priorities with respect to wealth, took the land, Shevet Menasheh, not being party to the request to remain in Chutz La'aretz, were, for whatever the reason, instructed to settle there by Moshe Rabbeinu, did not take the land, negative, but rather were given the land by Ever HaYarden, no negative connotations to their actions.